Look, I think tonight, it's a great privilege to introduce myself as one of the 11 candidates standing for 6 seats. It's my hope that you'll leave feeling as if you know more about me and you know about the way I will approach the role of councillor. I can't speak in Kuranda without first acknowledging our First Nations peoples, their connection to the environment that surrounds us. I was raised in Mareeba. I moved here when I was 7 years old, and I did work away for a few years in the early 2000s, but except for that, the Mareeba Shire has provided me with a fulfilling and diverse career, and the best place, I believe, to raise my 14-year-old daughter. I was fortunate to be raised by parents who set an example of service and contribution. They taught me to put my hand up when I think I can make a difference, and that's why I'm putting my hand up for the role of councillor. I believe that the skills, experience and perspective that I bring to the role of councillor will benefit all communities in the Mareeba Shire. So, a little bit about my career. I started with Bendigo Bank in Mareeba. I worked in Kuranda as well as Cairns and on the Tablelands before I moved into employment services with QITE's management team. Now, for those who remember, QITE was a large, and still it operates, but had a really large footprint in employment services and social enterprises. I served on the Mareeba Chamber of Commerce, and I also served for the Cairns and Hinterland Health and Hospital Services Community Consultative Committee. I was the leader of QITE's first Reconciliation Action Plan and a director on the Community Bank Board that oversees the business, which is the Mareeba and Beulah Financial Services of Bendigo Bank. So my career has been diverse and my volunteer efforts have always been focused on improving the community. Then I found myself working for Mareeba Shire Council from the end of 2016 until mid-2023. And through that work, I've worked in the communities across the Shire, including time with the Kuranda Community Precinct Advisory Committee, the KUR Sports and Social Club, and I was fortunate to be involved with meetings with Jabbergai, Nunbai, Kuranda Neighbourhood Centre and many others over the years. Then in June 2023, when I finished with the council, I launched my new business, which is named Conscious Copy. And through Conscious Copy, I work with mainly women-led businesses, but also non-profits and small to medium enterprises to write strategic communications, attract funding and investment, and promote their point of difference. And stepping away from the council allowed me to gain some clarity around the perspective that I thought I could really make a difference to the council chamber. And I think the first step to bring that fresh perspective is to acknowledge that I understand there is this sense of feeling unrepresented in the area. And I do sincerely acknowledge what it must be like to sit there and see all faces and names, many of whom are new to you and not from this area, and to entrust us with decisions that will impact the future of the economy, the environment and the community. So that's why tonight I wanted to focus more on my values, who I am, in the hope that you can become familiar with me and learn more about me as a prospective councillor. If you've not done so already, I have a website which is www.amygrays.com.au where I've listed some high-level thinking about what I see as the priorities for the coming council term and beyond. And I'm also sharing my journey on social media, on Facebook and Instagram, if you'd like to follow along. I just want to acknowledge as well that campaigning is a really strange reality to occupy because voters want promises, but from what I can tell, it's really difficult to put your hand on your heart about anything other than the values that will guide you. You know, I can promise that I'm committed to a financially sustainable council and, keeping rate rises to the absolute minimum as possible while delivering quality services. I also promise I'll support community-led initiatives because I think that's where the gold is if the council can support and enable when people in community are doing good things. And I will also be advocating for the development of a new economic development strategy for the Shire to identify opportunities and barriers to the future prosperity of the region. But otherwise, I think the important promises or values that I will bring are to listen, to serve the communities across the Mareeba Shire, and to focus on opportunities and not deficits, or possibilities and not barriers. I believe that we have an opportunity now to really reset and move forward. So tonight I'll finish by updating you with my plans for polling day. I'm not going to be handing out any electoral whatsoever, nor will I have vote canvassers at the polling booths. I believe that everyone has a right to peace on election day, and I'm also concerned about the use of single-use election material, which will go straight in the bin immediately after. So we are in a first-past-the-post voting system, which means there's no preferences, so there's no benefit to me telling you how I think you should vote, other than to please number 6 of the squares. I also think, there are some bugs going around and that kind of thing, so I'm really happy to try and limit the amount of contact that people have. I will do the rounds as best I can on polling day, and I'll issue a bit of a schedule, so if somebody does want to talk to me, they'll know when I'm going to be at the polling booth. I get generally from the voting public a really positive reaction about that. They're happy to hear that I'm going to be shoved anything in their face or harassed by people. But there's some people in the system who say to me, oh, you might miss out on votes because of it. Now, I'm willing to test it. So if you agree with me and you're interested in seeing me as a councillor, then I ask that you do pop a number into my square, which is number 7 on the list. Thank you.
Thank you.